thank you so much for tuning in for our first service of the Jazz Vespers this evening. We've got people tuning in from Florida, Grand Rapids, and Traverse City, and we're so glad that you could join us for this new adventure that we're taking on here at Central Church. Our intention for this service is to bring some light during this hard year we've had during this pandemic, and bringing that through words of story, through poem, and through music. That first song that the band played was Mercy, Mercy, Mercy by Joe Zawinul. And next up, we've got The Turkey by our very own Jeff Cobb. right, thank you so much, band. Just wanted to do a quick shout out. We've got Dorothy in Florida tuning in with us, Sue in Grand Rapids, David and Lisa in Cincinnati, and so many others coming to join us today as we celebrate some hope in our world. It's so exciting. Up next, we've got another original piece by Phil, and that is Like Nobody's Business. Thank you so much, guys. Up next, we have a longtime member of our church, Barb Kessel, who also happens to be my mother. She's going to be coming up and sharing a story of hope that she has found in this past year.
Good evening, which I actually had to Google Vesper because I had no idea what it meant, but it just means that we're here in the dark in the evening. So, we're marking the 1-year anniversary of a global pandemic, and I've been asked to share my experience. What has been difficult? What have I found hopeful? This pandemic has tentacled around the globe, reaching everywhere, but touching us all in different ways. More than 500,000 people in this country have died. Families have lost mothers and fathers, grandparents, brothers and sisters, many times multiple members of one family. People have died alone and scared. I'm deeply saddened. I extend my love, my sympathy. It is a pain I cannot imagine. Fortunately, I have not lost anyone to COVID-19. I've merely been inconvenienced. I wear a mask, I don't go out to eat, I cancel travel plans. While some of my friends feed off going out and being social, I'm often more comfortable staying in. For the past decade, I've worked out of my home. So really the biggest change this year is that now my husband has joined me there. An endless stream of Zoom meetings echoing through the house, and countless questions about where I've hidden certain condiments in the refrigerator. So from a purely personal perspective, my biggest hope is someday the man I love will trade his sweats in for real pants and go back to the office. As I thought about it, the great hope born of this pandemic is for me, not about me. Inviting me to speak tonight, Pastor Chris said he was looking for a multi-generational slate of speakers at these Vesper services, and he was kind enough to point out that I'm at the elder end of that spectrum. Thank you so much. In fact, I'm on the cusp of my 60th birthday, and looking back now over 6 decades, I find my hopes have become more weighted, more consequential. At 5, I wished for a skipper doll from Santa. Then I wanted to be asked to homecoming by a certain boy. And maybe I wanted a raise at work, and I wanted a healthy baby. Those were my hopes. At 50, I hoped my father, who lay dying, would not suffer. My hopes at times have been projected on others, but in the end, they were about me. What the pandemic has given me is a chance to slow down. There is time if we choose to move beyond our cocoon of algorithmic news, the comfort of familiar, the ease of like minds. News is no longer in the background. I wake up, I watch the morning news. In the evening, I watch the evening news. I can keep up with social media. I look at news online. I listen to the news on the radio. But too often, way too often, I hear, what you're about to see is disturbing. I've seen a naked black man suffering a mental health crisis, hooded and restrained by police in the middle of a street until he stopped breathing. I've seen cell phone video of a 25-year-old black man jogging along a tree-lined street, then hunted down and killed by white vigilantes. The list, as you all know, goes on and on and on. It is no longer background noise. It is too prevalent to ignore. I realize this racism, this hatred is a deep, deep wound. It is scarred, broken open, scarred again, without us never digging deep enough to eradicate the infection. It is ironic how history repeats itself. 100 years ago, we had barely recovered from an influenza pandemic when Tulsa, Oklahoma police ignored mobs of white men as they torched the black section of the city. Homes, businesses that had taken years to build up were burned to the ground. 300 people lost their lives, and nearly the entire black population was homeless. History repeats itself. What treatment did black men endure in the 1960s that prompted them to protest with signs saying, "I am a man"? And now chillingly similar is the phrase we hear today, "Black Lives Matter." How basic is this plea? How horrid is the history that leads generations of black people to ask for basic human decency? These are faces of people we have lost to the pandemic, she says, as she finds her slide. So these are the faces we've lost to the pandemic. The pandemic doesn't care. They don't care if you're black or you're white or female or male or old or young, straight or gay. It likes everybody. These are the faces of people we have lost to systemic racism, to deep hatred, to anger that can no longer be held in. Each of these groups represented a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a coworker, a best friend. One was targeted. The other was indiscriminate. I don't know how to fix it, but I do know, just like the pandemic, pretending there is no problem, saying everything is okay, will only prolong injustice. This is my hope born of the pandemic, that we will adopt a new normal. We will learn to listen. We will take the time to see. We will endure the uncomfortable and find the bravery to speak. Let our compass be love, truth, and hope as we navigate through uncharted waters toward a new and better normal.
Thank you so much, Barb, for that moving speech that you just shared with us. This next song that we'll be going into is a tune by Bob Dylan, To Make You Feel My Love. We often share it in the well service here on Sunday mornings, and it's a wonderful reminder for when you're feeling at your lowest, there is someone there to hold out their hand, to give you a hug, and to give you that sense of hope to keep moving forward. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I would offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shatters and the stars appear, and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make
Thank you, Allie. Thank you. It's always a treat to have Allie join us, and it's a treat and honor for me to be a part of this tonight. It's such fun to play with these guys. We've been playing together for about 20 years now. Andy and I have known each other since 1990, and it's always great to make music with these guys. So we're honored that you're joining us this evening. We hope you tune in again next week, and by all means, tune in on Facebook and let us know what you think. We're again excited to be here, and it's fun to get this launched tonight. The next number we're going to do another original tune. This one is called Avocado.
Thank you, band. Up next, we have another member of our church, Eldon Horner, joining us, and he will be sharing a poem titled Hope by Lisa Mueller. Eldon.
Hope. It hovers in the dark corners before the lights are turned on. It shakes sleep from its eyes and drops from mushroom gills. It explodes in the starry heads of dandelions turned sages. It sticks to the wings, the green wings of angels that sail from the tops of maples. It sprouts in each secluded eye of the many-eyed potato. It lives in each earthworm segment surviving cruelty. It is the motion that runs from the eyes to the tail of a dog. It is a mouth that inflates the lungs of the child that has just been born. It is the singular gift that we cannot destroy in ourselves. The argument that refutes death. The genius that invents the future. All we know of God. It is the serum which makes us swear not to betray one another. It is in this poem, trying to speak.
Thank you, Eldon. I love the visual of thinking about a baby being first born and their lungs being filled with that first breath of life. What a beautiful image of hope. What a wonderful poem. Up next, the band will be playing another original piece called The Rubdown.
All right, thank you, band. Thank you, Allie and Eldon and Barb as well for sharing tonight. Hey, I'm Pastor Dale, and I'm going to send us off tonight. But first, I want to thank you for being part of this. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, come again next Friday evening. Tell a friend, and we'll be here with Jazz Vespers. Would you pray with me? We want to thank you, God, for reigniting the flame of hope within us tonight through a good word and good music, for filling our hearts with light, for pushing out darkness, for giving us a fresh vision of what's possible, because what's possible is a gift from you. Brothers and sisters, go out now as light bearers, brightening those dark places in our world. Go out as hope carriers, bringing encouragement to those who are despairing. Go in the name of Christ, the love of God, and power of Holy Spirit. Blessings on your evening. Peace.